Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Welcome back to Wind Tunnel TV. Tonight it's RGR Racing and their ACS Truck Series here live at Phoenix for the Phoenix 125. I'm Dean Doucette, joined as always by Mr. Baron Labosco and special guest in the booth tonight, Mr. Colin Kennedy. Baron, Phoenix, baby.
Phoenix, baby. That's a good way to put it. We were having a little discussion offline. Some drivers love this track. Some drivers don't like this track, Dean. You can put me in the latter group there, but Colin, 3 distinct different turns, and we're looking at about 20-plus drivers here tonight. What do you expect?
We're expecting this is just a normal short track race here this week with these RGR guys. You know, this track is really different. Turns 1 and 2 really are different than 3 and 4. 1 and 2 we have 7 degrees of banking. 3 and 4 has 10 degrees of banking. So the car is going to feel different on each end of the track. Then you also have the dog leg, but these guys are not allowed to cut this. They're not allowed to cut the dog leg here. So you're going to have to be careful going too wide through that section because that good car can get extremely light right there.
Yeah, that's a great point, Colin. I mean, you know, the dog leg being open allows people to go down there if need be, but the league rules, they don't allow it, so it's going to be interesting to see if there's any malarkey, dare I say, down there.
Violators.
Don't violate me. Let's look in on the points here. Adam Newton leading the way. These are unofficial points, by the way, people. So we'll get those updated next week for you. But Newton is definitely your point leader. Got a bit of a lead over Leo, Repka, Sheffield, Mower. You got Williams, Person, Ratliff, Spear, and Dibble all shown in the top 10 here. We're getting to about the halfway mark here, Baron. I mean, who are you looking for to make a move here in the second half?
Well, Phoenix can be a real tricky track, right? So you're going to see some guys points racing tonight. I look for Adam Newton to try to hold station as much as possible. But we got some newcomers in here again, talking offline. Watch out for the driver of the number 89 machine, Jeff Ward. He's a threat in every racetrack he's on tonight. And Dean, I could see him making his way to the front of the field and maybe leading this thing before it's all said and done.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, unfortunately, Bernard Person not able to make it tonight, a little under the weather, because I raced with him just the other night on this track. He got the pole, so he was going to be good, but Bernie won't be here. Adam Newton is here with his dyslexia car and multiple personality car here.
Yeah, I like that car. I think it's a beautiful car right there.
It really is. I mean, great job. That's a potato paint there. Anybody interested, go find out who the potato man is and get
I'll give you a hint.
in.
Rhymes with Scott Olson.
It does rhyme with that. That's good. Looks like qualifying about coming to a conclusion. Baron, I think we need to bring out the national anthem. Let's get everybody to rise up out of their seats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave
Alicia Shipman does it really well, doesn't she, Dean?
I absolutely love it. A great singer, and great of her to do that for us. We absolutely love it every time, don't we, Baron?
Every single time, Dean. It gives me the goosebumps. Gets me ready to go racing.
Yeah, and no time to do grids. We are ready to go racing. So George Leal on the point with Sheffield on the outside. Look for your favorite driver. We're just about ready to go green flag racing.
Colin, there's 2x2. Do you like the high side or the low side at this track?
At the start of the race, I like the low side. Really, when you have all that grip in those tires, it's going to benefit you a lot more. But you'll see some of these guys work that outside.
Green flag, down and away. George Leal starts her off. Sheffield and Newton on the high side with a good start there. They might get something done.
Yeah, good run for Brandon Sheffield. I mean, he's really looking, he's got a good run on the outside. Might be able to get the power down and see if he can't get a nose in front of the 51, as he will, heading into turn 3.
And Colin, you think about a track like Phoenix, I mean, the outside can be used just as you just seen it. In these trucks in particular, you can get a little more momentum up there, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of people are writing notes down from seeing what Brandon did right there. He really took the high side right there and just, I mean, blew around George right there. And you see a lot of these drivers actually not sitting on the bottom right now. Maybe some of these trucks are really tight right now and need to be loosened up a little bit.
Now, Baron, when we talk about that, you see Jeff Ward making a move to the inside. How is that going to affect the car? I mean, guys run down low, guys run down up high. It's going to have two different effects, isn't it?
Well, it sure will, Dean. And what I think Jeff is doing right now is he's taking advantage of cold tires, right? Lap 3, a lot of grip in these tires right now. Eventually, they're going to heat up, and everybody's going to kind of even out on their lap times. I see Jeff making as much progress as he can right now before that equalization happens.
Yeah, and that's another great point. I mean, you talk about these trucks, and you have a finite amount of time before they do equalize, and you see what we're seeing right now. A lot of you're right in the tracks of the guy in front of you. Not a lot you can do about it. You try and go low, the guy up high's got too much momentum. He can't make the pass. So, Colin, I mean, what do you do? I mean, just patience?
Yeah, this track is really a lot about patience and honestly consistency, because you're going to have to save these tires for these long runs, because it's going to get hot and it's going to get extremely tight throughout these runs. So really waiting on a mistake and starting to really see the people that are falling back struggling a little more, that's whenever you really want to start making your moves, because then your tires are set up and then you can start catching more and more people towards the end of the race.
And you can really tell just looking at the standings. I mean, maybe not you at home, but we have it on our board. There's nobody on the entire circuit who's gained more than one spot except for Eric Whiting, who's in 19th. He picked up 2, but I mean, he's at the back of the field. So it's slow incremental gains, isn't it, Baron?
Phoenix is like that. This is a game of inches at this track. With 2 lines like that, you'll see these tires start to wear on them. Now, the cool part about that is you're going to find guys start hunting the grip. And when that happens, you'll see some comers and goers. But for now, everybody's pretty much on a clean slate.
Ooh. Looks like Jason Spears turned the blue in for red. Does that mean he's gone Republican, Barry?
Yeah, nice truck there. He's been hounded by Claus, but Claus got into the wall trying to pass Jason, so Claus got a little right side damage there.
A little bit. So
I like what Claus did right there. I mean, he obviously sees that passing on the bottom is just not working right now, so he kind of tried to stick his nose around the outside, try to get that run down that entire straightaway leading into turn 1. So maybe you just need to start paying attention more off of turn 4 just to see if people are going to try to put these trucks on the outside.
Well, and there's something, Baron, you talk about quite a bit, right? Sticking the nose out, getting the headlight out there. I can't think of a track where it's more important than here.
True, and Dean, these trucks may not look aero sensitive, but they are, and iRacing does a really good job of translating that into the wheel as these drivers try to set up the person in front of them for a pass.
Look over our top racers here. Newton 3rd, there's Bruce in 4th. Ward now up 2 spots is our big mover so far. He is on the move, and boy, oh boy, Baron, we've seen Ward for a couple of weeks. I don't think that moving's going to stop, is it?
No, probably not. Dean. It just depends on how well he feels behind the wheel tonight. But we saw that truck come to him a couple weeks ago, and it looks like tonight he's meaning to be up front early.
Yeah, not an easy track. Gonna be, patience, as Colin talked about right now, though. There goes Claus Williams. He's ran out of patience, Colin.
Yeah, and I really thought he was going to try to stick it on the outside right there, but he kind of took good note that last time where he got in the wall, but definitely looking very aggressive right now, trying to gain that position back that he lost at the start, and he's going to complete it.
Well, him and Paul K both. And what do you think this is a part of? You think Jason is trying to save his stuff a little bit? I mean, it wouldn't be that much out of the realm of possibility.
Absolutely. I think that a lot of these drivers know what this track can do. And I mean, this track really eats tires very well. And if you're just not careful, you overslip a tire, you're going to have it heated up for 30 laps. And all you're going to be doing is trying to cool it back down, and you're just losing lap time there.
Greg Ratliff on the move. He's underneath Mower. Mower pinching him a bit there. They're running side by side.
Yeah, this is the stage of the race where those tires starting to get a little warm, and Dean passing on the low side may be in a bit of trouble here for him. Ratliff has the position, but he just can't complete it.
He can't complete it. This is pretty standard stuff here at Phoenix. That right front will get heated up, and if you don't want to get into the guy on the outside, you're going to have to lift, and that's going to allow that momentum to go right on by you.
Extremely frustrating maneuver. If you don't get the pass, suddenly the guys behind you figure it out and they pin you down on the bottom.
You see Ledford back here in 11th place. Right in front of him, you're watching Spear along with Ratliff going at it. Ratliff on the outside, going to complete that pass. Take a look out in our chats. All is quiet here this evening. Let's get some chatting going. Tell us who your favorite driver is. We'll check in. Let's check in with the Toad Man, Todd Gilly. A little birdie told me he did some practice here, Baron, and he's thinking he might be okay tonight.
Well, that's good to see. Todd's been having some good and some bad weeks leading up to tonight. Looks like he's meaning to move forward here, Dean. He's putting a little pressure on the 48.
Yeah, and let's hop on board, because I like what I saw out of him that corner. Looks like he's getting right down that yellow line, and I like it, Baron, that yellow line tends to help you turn a little bit.
It can. You can unweight the machine, and it will certainly have an effect on it to act a little more loose, but you got to be careful. To Colin's point, anger that right rear. You're going to deal with it the rest of the run.
Absolutely. Angry tires, they tend to fight back on you. We're on board with Todd, the Toad Man Gilly here as he rides behind James Ledford. Now Jason Spear just ahead. We'll hop on board with him. He's down 4 spots. I know he can drive this track. I'm thinking this is on purpose. Colin, is this a mistake? I mean, Phoenix notorious tough to pass on.
I'm looking at his wheel movement right now, and it is very minimal. He is not trying to turn the wheel a lot, so he's really just trying to save his front tires right now. I think this is really just a strategy of, okay, I started up front, I know my speed, let's try to make it last until the end of this run and try to make up positions towards the end instead of making it up now. So I think he's just really just saving and just being very smart right now.
Well, these guys now, they can probably do somewhere in the neighborhood of 80 laps. Who knows? But I think it's a one-stop race here. Do you like what you're seeing here, Baron?
Well, I do, and we're going to see them single file through most of this event, Dean. These are really good drivers, very talented. They do a very good job of staying off each other. Now, that doesn't mean somebody may not, push the issue a little bit, maybe get a little bump and run. I don't see anybody going around and getting put in the spin cycle on purpose here. As long as these guys are managing their throttle responses, self spins are really hard to do here, but it can happen.
Absolutely. Brandon Sheffield, your race leader, he took that lead right off the hop in, I think, turn 2. He managed to get that pass done. So Sheffield, we've always watched him, Baron. He's had to work his way through the field many times. Ending up, bridesmaid a few times. Probably got a win or 2 as well. But how about this, being out front this early?
Yeah, it's dangerous for the rest of the field. Everybody's on notice now because, frankly, having that problem in front of you chasing that 36 is not going to be an easy thing to do.
Claus from 5th, right where he started. Now Darren Bruce, another one. He's dropped 3 spots. Quite interesting. So Darren looking for the long run. We'll see if this pays off, folks. I mean, these cars, it's very hard. They equalize quite a bit. So I don't know if this strategy will pay off for some of the tire savers. We're going to find out, though. Paul K up a couple of spots in 7th. He got Mower, Greg Ratliff, and then Spear in the top 10. Good to see Letford up here having a good run, along with Gilly, Otto Viani right there as well. And there's the potato head paints man himself, the He-Hut machine of Scott Olson.
19 way up the track right there, really running that high line. I guess he's really just trying to get this net power down, get that run down that straightaway and clear as he does. I like to really refer to this track as only one straightaway. 3 and 4 really just seems like you're just setting up the run that goes down along this little short chute to set yourself up for 1 and 2, and then you have the straightaway that's after 1 and 2. And I really feel like that's where a lot of people are actually trying to make passes and trying to get those runs. I just think 3 and 4 all the way to 1 is a straight corner basically.
I couldn't agree more. Olsen lost that spot to Otto Viani, I think. They're running 2-3 wide there. What do you think about that, Baron? Is that doable? Is that a no-no here at Phoenix?
Oh, you can absolutely do it, Dean. It's whether or not the other guys can is the big problem.
So here on lap 24 of 125, it's Brandon Sheffield out front, George Leal second, Newton in 3rd. He's your points leader. Ward in 4th. Doesn't look like he's made any progress. Everybody kind of pretty even right now. You got Williams, Bruce, and Paul K sitting there in 7th. Good run so far for Mr. Paul K, Travis.
Yeah, not bad, and we're happy to see Paul out here doing his thing tonight, Dean. He had a tough run a few weeks ago. Looks like he dusted himself. Come on back and have a good evening.
He's got Hope there on the bumper. Hope for Susan. You got to love that. A little shout out to the wife, Susan. We all know her battles and struggles, and we always have her in our thoughts and prayers for sure. Riding on board with Nate Mower here, right behind Paul K. Travis. And again, Colin, you look at the wheel. I mean, this is another good long-run driver. Not over-cranking it, but you can see there in that corner, the truck already tightening up a little bit.
Yeah, and the car right in front of him, Paul Travis, I mean, you could see it. He's actually got a little bit better of a center corner, so he's going to try to send it below him right now. I don't think it's going to get that pass done, but yeah, I mean, very minimal wheel movement, which really shows me that he's still been saving tires. He's just he has really good center corner right now. That 88's probably struggling with the tight condition right now.
Yeah, I mean, the pushes are a little bit early, so this is about the time, right? So Mower, one of those guys, he starts moving forward. There's Greg Ratliff. You can't count him out of any race. He's trying to move forward. Paul K perhaps fading a little bit here. Where is Jason Spear? He's fought off these attacks so far, but he's still down 4 spots, and he's almost 3 seconds back of the next spot here. Barron, are these guys back here already in trouble?
Well, they could be, Dean, and what we're looking at here is we're ticking down. We're about halfway to a pit stop here. So some of these guys right now, they really have to decide where their pit strategy lies. I mean, they're in a gaggle.
Do you? One in the wall and one loose down low.
Yeah, definitely. So, what do you do? You try to get out of the gaggle with pit strategy, or you pass these boys?
Yeah, it's everything here is a tough decision. There are no easy choices here at Phoenix. There's only one guy who's got easy choices. That's Sheffield. He went out to the front, and his choice is, I'm going to stay here, damn it. Otto Viani get a little shake off the corner. So we're seeing this. We talk a lot about tight trucks. Well, the trucks lately have been getting loose. The rear is burning up. What do you think about that, Colin? What's the difference here for them? What are they going to have to fight with those rears burning up a bit?
And well, first of all, I think a lot of these drivers have been saving the fronts and not as much the rears, and I think that's the reason why you're kind of seeing that a little bit. But right where they're at, right here is where the track gets extremely light, and it's so easy to kick a car around right there, right there before the exit, the entry of pit road. The main thing a lot of these drivers are going to do is they're going to try to arc the car down a little bit more instead of really just trying to push the car out wide. It just kind of separates that loose and tight feeling. That's where it's just going to snap. So he's just trying to save their car right there. Adam Newton's
Newton on pit road on lap 32. So apparently we have the fuel mileage in the wrong area. This would be a 3-stop race for Newton. Very strange timing on the pitting. I mean, I'm surprised by it, Baron.
Well, you know, Adams won a championship, and you know, he's found himself a rhythm. He may be very planned here.
Oh, I think it is. I think, you know, I'm going to give Newton, he knows more than we do right now. He's doing the right thing, I would imagine. We'll see how it plays out. We're on lap 34 of 125. We look in on Greg Ratliff. He's working on Paul Kay along with Darren Bruce. Darren down 3 spots right now. Greg's one of our big movers. He's up 4.
Yeah, that's not very Darren Bruce-ish.
No, well, not Darren's favorite track, to be sure, but he is familiar with it. He hasn't run it, and he still runs it good, right? So we'll see if this is just part of his strategy to kind of hang back a little bit and get him later or not. But not his favorite, Darren.
I want to speak on strategy a little bit. Do you think that this is a track where you can really short shoot and try to undercut somebody here, or do you think that it's not worth it for tires?
That's a great question for Baron. Baron, what do you think?
Well, I love an early pit stop. I don't like adding a pit stop where it's unnecessary.
Yeah, well, as far as pit stops, I will say the longer races, you know, 3 maybe beat 2, but 4 stops over 3 stops is usually when I'm okay with it. Anything less, you're hard pressed to make up that time on green flag racing.
It's going to be really hard. And look, again, he's won a championship. I haven't, so at least not recently. So let him do it. Yeah, he won it.
Shots and gives you an idea that, you know, these guys are still driving fast. You know, you watch it from top-down views. You don't look too quick. It looks a little faster here, don't it?
Sure does. I love it.
We look in on Jason Spear. They're now down 5, so it's just not agreeing with him. In front of him, Olsen, our big mover on the night. He is up 6 spots so far. How about that, Colin? Nobody else can make moves, but Olsen's coming through.
Yeah, and I think Scott really just kind of, he had his strategy all laid out. He really figured out what he was going to do throughout the race. I think he really got that practice and understood where the car is going to be. Really figured out where he needed to save it, and now he's really starting to capitalize on it, gaining positions, and definitely looking forward to getting more positions as he's catching up to Paul.
Now, we've seen this, Baron, out of Olsen a few times, right? Early on, he looks like one of the favorites, and then later, something happens. He gets in a wreck, or something happens on pit road. Is this a night where it all comes together?
It depends on how hard you booth jinx him.
That is fair.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I feel bad. Rincon right now he's got the 3 of Justin Brantley under him, and we got a I missed it. What happened?
Ledford damn near tagged the wall like a ton too.
Let's check in with our YouTubers. Still nothing going on over in YouTube land, Facebook land. Quiet bunch tonight.
Looks like that truck's none the worse to wear, but he sure did scared me.
Yeah, he's still getting loose. So Ledford, that truck's starting to go away. This is really interesting. We had Adam Newton come on pit road. He's the only one. Let's ride on board and see if he looks a little different than everybody else here. And you can see underneath he goes. So I mean, he's definitely got more speed than everybody. I think he's done calculations. Newton's a very calculated guy, Colin. I think he's done a little bit of math there, and then Ledford comes in.
I like calculated instead of smart. That's a better.
Are you
better
saying
word
Adam
for
Newton's not smart?
Possibly.
Wow! Shots fired from the booth from Colin J. I love Adam personally, great guy, and he thinks about racing. Baron, you don't become a champion without knowing what you're doing.
Well, that's for sure. And a little bit of luck will go a long way. But truthfully, Adam Newton did a little bit of both last year and parlayed that into a great championship. Looking for him to do it again this year, but he's got his work cut out for him here tonight at Phoenix.
Yeah, currently trying to unlap himself, so he's sitting here behind George Leal. I believe we got to get a better view of this here. As we got pit stops, Ward's in, Mower, Ratliff, Olson's in, and Otto-Viani's in. So lap 44 looks like they're taking a 2-stopper, and Newton may be taking a 3-stopper. Very interesting stuff.
Everybody's really coming in now.
Here comes your leader, Sheffield. So he makes it on cleanly there. Behind him, you got Leals in and Williams in as well. Here comes Paul K.
So it seems like around 40 to 45 is when everybody's going to start hitting here. I think that, truthfully, it's fuel and it's tires. I think tires just really aren't, lasting long enough. I mean, we were at 1.5 seconds of fall off just from 45 laps. So it's definitely, the wear off is definitely there.
The battle on pit road, you see there, Leal in the first stall, Sheffield in the second stall. We'll stay here to see who wins the battle off of pit road. Sheffield came in first, and he's down and away first. And right behind him, Leal right there, as you see Sheffield blink out a little bit. Some internet issues, perhaps. Darren Bruce, your new race leader, and you got Spear running second. Now, the interesting part is, do we have yet a third strategy here? Are these guys trying to make it to lap 62, 63, Baron?
Well, they might be. And honestly, Dean, as we sit here and see some pitters coming down pit road now, I would have thought we were going to wait a few more laps, but some of these guys throwing me a curveball, Dean. I'm out to lunch.
Right there at the beginning of the race, I mean, you saw Jason. He was really the one that was just not pushing it, letting everybody go and just really riding. So I think that Jason might commit to this strategy, and you're right. I think we're going to see 3 different strategies throughout this race.
Very, very interesting. I mean, this does not look like a 2-stopper for Bruce, Spear, and Lester as we wait for everything to sort itself out. It may not sort out until the final lap. This is the kind of race that Phoenix is. Lots of strategy, lots of clean racing, and may the best man win. Or the smartest, Colin.
See, Adam Newton actually has jumped Brandon and Jeff both. So he is provisionally in first right now without the pit stops. But will Jeff be able to catch up to him by the end of this run?
Yeah, interestingly, Ward come out and he is in front of Sheffield now. What a stop by the 89. Barrett, pit stops matter.
Absolutely, Dean. Fresh rubber is the thing. If you got those 4 fresh tires, go on up there and make a difference.
Wow, avoidance there as the difference entry. Sheffield had to do a little avoidance on Jeff Ward. Looking to get a run. He's got it. Go down into corner 4, and of course he blinks out. He's still got some internet issues. He's side by side for the, not race lead, but maybe at some point once the other guys pit, this will be a battle for the lead.
Jeff Ward really turning up the wick. He's trying to pass him high here. That is not an easy pass. That's Brandon Sheffield right there.
Vice versa, Baron. It's Sheffield trying to make the pass down low and just can't do it. Sheffield beat him off of pit, or Ward beat Sheffield off of pit road. So Sheffield still sizing him up. You see how close he's getting. He's trying to force him to drive it in there a little bit. You know, this kind of short track stuff here, Colin. You're used to that. You try and force these guys to kind of miss their breaking point, don't you?
Well, I think what Brandon's right now is just trying to force that mistake. When you're riding right up behind that bumper, all you're looking at is that rear view mirror. And it is definitely scary when you have somebody close that gap so fast. It definitely makes you overdrive the car, make mistakes. And that's all Brandon is trying to do right now, is just rattle that cage a little bit, you know, get in his head.
Boy, oh boy, could we have, or we're just trying to rattle his cage moment here tonight. Darren Bruce still out front. You see Paul Kay is unlapping himself, so he'll get back on the lead lap. Olsen has fallen a great deal, so Olsen back here with Spear right now. He's making a move, so ooh, a little tight there off the corner. Bruce still leads, lap 53 of 125. These guys most definitely are trying to go to 62, 63. This really throws shade on Newton's strategy. He's going to make 2 more stops than them. Is that possible here, Baron? All right, Colin.
I definitely think it is, and as you see, you know, Adam's starting to get caught by the guys that are in that second run. But yeah, I definitely agree. It's going to be interesting to see how Darren and Jason really hold up here. I mean, they're running almost, it's more than a second and a half now in lap time, slower than their best. And so they're definitely getting caught fast. It's just going to be a matter of time, really, just to figure out if they're going to be able to make it all the way to the end or not.
Yeah, it's interesting because Bruce ran a 29.2, Spear ran a 28.8, so that early saving from Spear is paying off compared to Bruce. But is it paying off strategy-wise? I don't know.
Well, they've got to run at least a minimum of 4 to 8 more laps right here, really, to make this strategy work. They really got to at least get halfway here, otherwise they're really just going to hurt their second run.
Eric Whiting's took to pit road here, and while he's coming off of pit road, so Whiting on lap 55, 56 makes his pit stop. Still Bruce leading. Spear now has caught him, so that, I mean, he is 2, 3, and 4 tenths faster than Darren Bruce lap after lap. Barron, I mean, has Spear got it right here tonight? And we're back to Colin. So Barron indisposed at the moment, but Colin, I mean, this is getting entertaining. I mean, we love this stuff, right? When did guys pit? 3 different strategies I've never seen.
Well, I'm interested really now to see what Spear's going to do. He's ran the gap down, and he's definitely there. All he's really got to do is just complete that pass. And it's not going to be easy, especially with these tires being worn out, and also it being right around their pit window. He's definitely need to make quick work of Darren, and so he can keep on moving and keep building that gap, because you're going to need that gap as much as possible with these guys running fast lap times.
And Darren's going to let him go. Classy move from the 15. He gives up the lead. Spear goes right out there, and meanwhile, Gilly with fresher rubber, he's looking to unlap himself. He will. He's in 15th. Right behind him, Ledford also going to unlap himself over the next couple of laps. So we're on lap 59. This is a definite one-stopper for the likes of Jason Spear and Darren Bruce. Rincon comes in on lap 59, which is interesting because if you can't make it, Colin, why do this strategy? Why wouldn't he end 19 laps ago?
I mean, I think that truthfully, he's figured out what the car is going to feel like in that run, and he's going to better himself in this next run so that he can make it those extra couple of laps. I really want to see Jason and Darren both make it to at least 65 right here, really just to set themselves up better. But I think that a lot of these guys have really just figured out how this run's going and realized that, look, I'm not going to get any better now. I will have a better setup for the second run, so they're just going to be looking forward and not behind them.
Yeah, that's a great point. I love it. I mean, drivers out here, they make constant adjustments as Rincon comes off of pit road. And run to run, you can learn a lot because you might have practiced a lot, but the track conditions are hard to simulate in practice. You get that 100% wear out there. The temperature might be slightly different. So guys learned a little bit of that first run as Lester comes into pit road. So he's the first of the one-stoppers to come in.
One stop can do it, Dean.
Yes, sir. One stop can do it. That's obvious at this point. Let's hop on board here with Jason Spear as we expect him to come down pit road here momentarily. Not this lap. Does Bruce come in? He does. So Darren Bruce comes in on lap 62. He'll have to do 63 next time. Let's go back on board with Spear.
Well, I was looking at Darren's lap times, and they were really starting to get above the 29s, and that's really in a bad area to be in. And I think that, truthfully, he really just wanted to split it in half exactly. So I think it's still a smart move right there. And Jason still running in the 28s right now. I mean, it's phenomenal for 63 laps on this track.
Yeah. I mean, and he's content to keep running here. He's going to run this thing dry. He'll have no fuel mileage concerns whatsoever. Bruce still on pit road. Ward going to be the leader when this all shakes out, and he's got Sheffield and Leal right behind him.
Boy, they are chasing him with everything they got. They see that blue truck out front. They don't want it there. They want it behind them.
Jason Spear does come in. So Ward, your new race leader here. Jeff Ward, tough competitor, but he's got two other tough guys right behind him.
Yeah, and Jeff Ward's doing phenomenal, really holding these guys off. I think he knows that they're faster, and he knows how difficult it is to pass here. And all he's really doing is just kind of holding them back, running his own line, running his own race, kind of being more comfortable with himself. And so he's just causing them to really, maybe get a little bit frustrated behind him, and it'll cause them to overdrive the car. So I think what Jeff is doing right here is phenomenal.
I mean, when you're leading like this, Colin, and you're in the 89 machine, you talked about him in the mirror with Sheffield behind him, but do you even look in your mirror? I mean, do you want to know that he's there, or do you want to just run your line and let them do what they do?
Sometimes whenever I'm leading, I turn off my mirror completely, so I just don't got to see nobody else. So he might be doing that, but yeah, it's definitely good not to be looking back all the time, because it does force you to cause mistakes.
Yeah, I do that with my friends. I don't want to see what they're doing.
Amen.
So these guys doing a great job. Leal in third with Sheffield second, Ward leading. We look back to Newton now. Newton 4 seconds back. Remember, he pitted on, well, let's check here, make sure. He pitted back on lap 32. As you see Eric Whiting come in. So I'm not sure this strategy is going to pay off for Newton unless he's going to go long on this one. That might be tough for the two.
Adam's got his hands full here, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'm not sure that decision is going to pay off for him, but stranger things have happened as Spear comes with a big head of steam. He is trapped. He's in the rocking chair.
Yeah, and Jason just came off pit road too, so he's got the tires for it. He's trying to get around these guys as quick as possible. He's got to close that gap again.
He's looking for any room he can find. He goes low, puts Newton in the middle. Newton shakes out, though, to the high side, and now Spear will get clear. Right behind him is Darren Bruce.
These are teammates, too, Dean.
Absolutely. Team Spear here. So Bruce goes by Newton. Spear and Bruce on the one-stopper, currently 15th and 16th. And they are a lap down, so they're going to have to unlap themselves from Jeff Ward, who is leading with Sheffield second and Leal third.
For these front run guys, we're on around lap 25 of their runs, and we're already looking at 1.1 seconds of drop off, and even go back all the way back to Adam Newton, and he's looking at a little bit more. He's looking at about 1.6 seconds. So already it's about the same as it was the last run. The tires are still falling off extremely fast, so a lot of these guys are definitely going to be looking to come back down to pit road eventually at some point. So definitely don't be expecting a lot of long runs here, besides those about 4 guys that ran it to about 63.
Well, I was thinking maybe this is what Newton was thinking. The drop-off so severe, he might have been thinking 3-stopper, but he's adjusted now. He's definitely going 2-stopper this time. He's already ran more laps than he did in his first run. Claus Williams currently in 5th position, and he is all over the back of Adam Newton. There goes Brantley. So Brantley still got to work around and try and get his lap back. He's back in 17th. Up front, top 3, still status quo. Barron, is this thing going to be won on or lost on pit road?
I don't know, Dean. You know, this thing's shaked out, and we still got the players up front. I don't know. Look, if I knew that, I'd probably be a hell of a crew chief. But I'm not, so, you know. I really think speed is best. I think your winner comes out of these front 3. What do you think?
I don't know, but I never had this information when I hired you, Barron.
I know, right? I was just, you know, I was just faking it till I make it.
He lied on his resume, folks.
I bribed you with alcohol.
Yeah, it doesn't take much.
It doesn't. Alcohol and McDonald's French fries.
I'm what they call easy.
George Dibble in the race. Let's go get a look at that beautiful McDonald's paint scheme.
George Dibble did not take the field here tonight.
Oh no! There goes our fry mention.
Well, we're still talking about him. I mean, I want him.
Me too. I got some the other day too, Dean.
I hope just fries.
I was thinking of you. No, I got a quarter pounder too.
Oh, I like a quarter pounder. We're talking over a decade. Probably
With
2
cheese.
decades since I had one.
Colin, quarter pounder with or without cheese?
It's got to have cheese.
Yeah, I agree.
Got
The only real question is, do you want a pickle on it?
No.
Why do they put it on there? It's like a stamp or something. You just got to remove it.
Yeah, it's a stamp from China, probably.
You gotta give it to the girlfriend.
George Leal comes
Girlfriends
in.
eat pickles.
And so George Leal from 3rd place here, he'll come in on lap 76. That'll leave him close to 50 laps. What a move. This is interesting out of George Leal.
Very different look. He was just in 3rd, so George, boy, buddy, I hope you know what you're doing.
Well,
I like this.
Yeah, go ahead, Colin.
I really do like this. I think what he's doing is smart. He's gonna get ahead just like Jeff Ward does, and they're gonna catch him a little bit later on in the run to where he can really just set the pace of the field where it's hard to pass him. I really think that George is going to be looking good at the end of this race because he's kind of separating himself from these guys. I mean, if you can run status quo with these guys the entire race, then why not try something different where you're in front? So I think this is really smart.
Yeah, to try something different. You know, that's my whole thing. I mean, I love it.
The wisdom.
I mean, he's sitting here in third against two of the toughest competitors in the league. You're thinking, okay, this is great. I can battle them. But, you know, what if I try something completely different and either I win or I probably still get third? So not a whole lot to lose for George. But I tell you, Spear has got caught up here. And now he is looking to unlap himself. He is a lap down, but he does not have to stop again.
Look at the closing rate he's got, too.
I love this. Jason Spear on his game tonight. Playing a little strategy here. Right behind our leaders. They continue to battle. This is going to be a good one. There's Darren Bruce. He's currently, Spear and Bruce are 12th and 13th. You got Rincon 14th. Graham Connolly in 15th, and then Lester we know is on that same strategy, a one-stopper. We'll see how all this pans out. There's Leal going on by, so Leal with that early stop starting to make moves already. Newton comes in.
Yep. I was about to say I think Newton's going to do the exact opposite of what George Leal's doing. You know how he ran a short stint and then a long stint, and he's going to run a short stint again. I think that's what he's trying to go for right here.
Now you can see their pit stop strategy. If you can find Adam Newton, he pitted on lap 32, so he ran almost 50 laps that time, and he's left himself about 44 more laps. Very interesting strategy.
Right, we kind of questioned why he was pitting so early, and now here's our answer, right?
I mean, I guess. I mean, he was just a severe short pit from him, which is interesting. Probably a good move.
Sheffield's in.
You like it. Sheffield's in. Williams, Ottoviani, and Ledford in.
Ward's in.
There's Jeff Ward. So how's this all going to shake out right now? There's Spear. He's going by the start-finish line. He has unlapped himself, but I don't think that's... We'll have to wait and see here. I don't know if he's going to take the lead or not. Ward's still on pit road. Spear and Bruce coming on through right now. There's Ward still. He's just getting the right sides up now. So Spear, yeah, he'll go by and he'll be gone.
Yeah, and I think Ward pitted a lap later than Sheffield did. He answered what Brandon was doing there. Brandon was going to try to go for the short pit and try to undercut him. So really pay attention to the battle off pit road here. See if Sheffield doesn't get out.
Sheffield does get by. There's Ward. So Sheffield not only gets by, but gets by a good margin. So one that we've seen, Leo actually was the first in, and he's way up there. So, wow, strategy everywhere. Leo first in, he's out first. Sheffield second in, he's comes out in second, and now Ward, who was in the lead, he'll come out third out of those three drivers. The
race is on.
Race is on multiple levels. Spear leading, Bruce in third. They don't have to pit. I mean, nobody has to pit now, I guess, if they pitted in the last 10 laps or so. So this is just highly entertaining stuff. And how about George Rincon right now is up 13 spots on the night. Bruce, and we're having some OBS problems. I guess it's okay. A little disconnect and reconnect, and we're going.
That's what happened to me. My stuff shut the hell down.
Yeah, some issues out there in the internet land. The Internet of Things.
The intranet, yes. The interweb.
Intranet.
The old interweb. Jason Spear, your race leader. Love it. He's thought this one through, folks. He's on a one-stopper. We've got 33 laps remaining at the line for Jason Spear.
George Leo, though, right?
Yeah, he is flying right now.
Still a net gain for Mr. Spear. Can he hold off the likes of George Leal? Leal's got 3 seconds on Sheffield and 3.5 on Ward. So those three drivers that were all together, no more.
I think Jason's about to be the buck.
Well, it certainly looks like that. He moves up high. He'll let Leo by. He knows better. With this many laps left, he's not going to waste his stuff trying to hold him up or hold him off.
I love this plan from George Leo here. I really favored it a lot, and I really think that he's going to be able to take this one and really expand it. I don't really know if they're going to be able to get by each other.
Well, we've seen this, right, from Leo Barron. I mean, he is increasingly getting to be like a very well-rounded driver, not just driving different tracks well and different laps well, different segments well, but he's thinking out his strategies. He's got it all right now.
Well, he's working with everything he's been given, and that is a 1 second lead right now. Jeff Ward coming, but can he catch Leal and Sheffield?
Randy McCanny out there. Spear should have a big lead. I'm probably a little late to that comment, but yeah, I mean, he did great. I still love the strategy by Spear. Remember, I think he was outside of the top 10 when this all started. Currently second on the track. Sheffield looking to make a move, and Sheffield continued to blink. He's got a little bit of an internet issue, but it's not affecting his driving, is it, Colin?
No, not at all. And Bear, I got a question for you. Thinking just with the George Leal and Brandon Sheffield kind of like battle right here, how much of Brandon's car is going to be taken out from trying to run him down, chase him down? Do you think it's going to wear his car out to the point where he really can't make a pass? Just trying to catch
believe it. It's a good question, Colin, and I believe it. I spent an entire season trying to teach Dean how to pit early, so the guys would burn their stuff up trying to catch him, and that's the truth of it, right? You get close to him, but passing him's a different story.
Yeah, and I've spent a lot of time chasing people down with the later pit stop, and I can tell you it's very frustrating to realize you overdrove when you didn't think you did because you were chasing. So Ward continuing to try to work his way up. He's caught up to Sheffield. Sheffield 1.3 behind Leal, your leader. So the 51 will have heat. The concertina effect there is going to, that's from Concertina Joe, by the way, if you want to go check out any of his videos. But the concertina effect is coming, right? These guys are going to accordion, if you will, back up together.
That's a big word.
That's a big word.
Colin, Dean's using school words. Make him stop.
Yeah, Dean.
If
Please
you want
stop.
me to stop, just ask me to spell one of them.
What do they teach you in Canada?
Nothing. And there's Adam Newton. Newton with his strategy, or about right where he started with it. But he's got Williams and Bruce right behind him. And Nate Mower right where he started in 8th. I mean, you got Lester is up 7, along with Rincon. He's up 7. So net gains for the one-stoppers here.
That was the point of it, though, wasn't it? You know, make the best of what you can.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at Spear, we were talking about him being down 4, 5, 6 spots. Well, he's still up 2 spots right now, and he's got over 5 seconds on Adam Newton, who's in 5th. So Nick Gain is really what it's all about. I mean, wins are great, but you still need good finishes. The championships are what it's all about, isn't it, Colin?
Oh, absolutely. And you don't want to really wreck a car or ruin your entire run just from one simple mistake. Like, at this point right now, you just want to be consistent and get the best finish that you can. A lot of these drivers are looking forward to that championship, and I hate to say this, but I think Adam Newton kind of made a mistake here, and this is where they have to capitalize on it and really just try to make those net gains throughout the season.
Well, mistakes, we're going to decide whether Leo made a mistake or not. Now, Barron, he's out here. He got out early. He knew this would happen. Has he prepared for this battle that's about to ensue?
Well, if he didn't, it's come to him. So it's time to buck up or shut up, right? Because Sheffield's there. Jeff Wharton has closed the gate to Sheffield. So this battle is on. These three are about to dice it up, Dean.
Oh,
well,
wow.
and Sheffield, what a move. What a smart move. He looks to the outside. I think Leo should have protected the outside because that's where all the momentum is. Now Sheffield has it, but whew, really high. Big run coming out of the corner, though.
I love that move by Sheffield. Love it.
He continues to blink out here.
Brandon wasted no time right there. He knows that 89 car is coming, and he's quick, too. So he made that move quick, and he's going to be set sail for a little bit.
It was such a great move. The question is, can Ward get it done as efficiently as Sheffield does? And the answer is no. And look at him drifting through that center of that corner. And off the corner, Leo drifting.
Too loose on the bottom there. Jeff Ward's got to be careful here.
He does, and he forces it in there. Contact. He's going around. Ward down the inside wall to the outside wall, and his night will be over as he over pushes that machine. Perhaps Leo could have lifted, but nonetheless he didn't, and that bumper is bouncing around like a super ball.
That was a tough lick right there.
So
That was
caution.
a big lick.
Forget your strategy, folks. It's all thrown in the garbage. Let's get a look in on this wreck. I mean, this was just, I got to get it done, and I got to get it done now. And he took a little too much, and he got a little bit of a bumper for his efforts.
Did he bump him, though? Did he?
He did on exit there. I think the speed, well, we don't know. I mean, let's look. We'll try and get an overhead. No. Right here. I
There
don't
he
know.
goes.
He just got
That's
loose. I don't think there was contact there, Baron.
I think he was loose through the slide job. I don't know that Leo really got him. If he did, it wasn't a big hit.
Might have been a little
Let's
bit
try
of
the
predicting
chopper
here.
here and see if we zoom in. I think he just took the air off of him. That
Yeah.
didn't look like contact. Hard to say. But
No, it
nonetheless,
sure didn't.
this is the price you pay when you want to win above all else. He pushed that car. He's seen how good Sheffield got by. He says, I got to get through. I got to get through now. Pit stop's happening.
I don't think he touched him there, Dean. He might have,
No,
Lord
I don't
knows.
think he did either. I mean, we
Yeah.
can't tell up here, but if he did, it was a feather touch.
Yeah.
You see everybody coming off of pit road. Sheffield going to win the battle off pit road, I do believe.
I'll tell you who won the battle. Is that number 83 machine of Jason Spear. Jason is now on the same pit strategy, and he is +3 positions in third. That's a podium.
Well, and Newton makes a comeback. He's right where he started now in
Yes,
fourth
sir.
with equal rubber. So a lot of these guys, I mean, I don't know where Lester shook out, but looks like, oh, there he is in ninth. So he's up 7. So those guys did okay with their strategy calls. I'm trying to figure out who got burned. I don't think anybody necessarily got burned with this late caution.
Jeff Ward.
Well, Ward definitely got burned. There's no doubt about that. Boy,
I was just about to talk about how bad Jeff wanted it, and I really just was curious to see how aggressive he was going to get. And as soon as I was about to come out my mouth, that's what happened. So he definitely wanted it there. He knew the risk that he was taking and what it took to win that race.
And I don't think it was necessarily wrong, right? He was like, Sheffield's been so good. If I don't make this pass this lap or next, I'm done for. So he tried hard, and he paid the ultimate price for it. Gilly on pit road, late pit stop for the Toad Man, so he'll come back out here. He'll be in 14th. We'll see if he can make some moves. Now, what happens now, Baron? I mean, these guys go back, about 20 to go when they go green here. What's going to happen? I mean, is the aggression going to amp up? Are we looking at more cautions? What do you predict here?
Yes.
All of the above, says Mr. Baron.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just re-racked them with 20 to go. These guys are going to be all over each other, Dean. This is going to be quite a finish here for the RGR series.
You know, your answer reminds me of being back in school, Baron, where I heard one time if you pick C all with every multiple choice question, you'll do quite well. It didn't work out for me.
C's get degrees, Dean.
Sheffield and Leal, Spear and Newton, Williams and Mower, Ratliff, Travis, Lester, and Racone, your top 10. We got ourselves a shootout here, folks.
Remember what happened last time on the restart, how that outside was able to prevail, and look who's on the outside.
Wow! Oh no!
Oh,
Something
no.
happened there. A bad start from Sheffield. He missed a shift or something. Spear, with a master class on how not to wreck, backs off. Great job by this field. No, most fields would be piled up because of that. Not here at RGR.
Wow.
What a job.
Did he miss the shift, or did he play shenanigans with the field?
I hope it's a mischief, and I think it's a mischief because I don't think he would do something that egregious on that restart.
Maybe he started in the wrong gear.
Yeah.
Anything possible. It looked like a standard mischief to me, the way that car jumped back, but who knows? Right now, Sheffield and Leal battling. Behind them, Claus Williams looking to make a move. Others are coming. Howden and Newton is Mower. Ratliff down there. And this is where you got to get it done, isn't it, Baron?
Absolutely. Pay windows open, Dean. Time to go.
The battle raging on. Sheffield, with a great pit stop, comes out in first place ahead of the 51 of George Leal. Behind him, Spear and Williams still going at it. Where do you want to be, Colin, if you're in this battle? Low or high?
In first.
Right?
But
Who are these guys that got in the booth tonight? I'm telling you.
It's the smartest answer you could ask for.
Speaking of battles, battle for the lead. Leo on the inside, looking for the race lead. Wow,
Leo's
great
really getting done.
entrance there. He'll take it. No, he won't. Battling back is a 36, but not enough.
He's gonna clear him.
Your
Wow.
new race leader, your old race leader, George Leal.
Really making that bottom side work. We have not really seen that all night. I wonder if it's just these tires or what's going on. But now Jason to the inside of Claus Williams. See if he can't get that position back.
Yeah, these guys have been fighting for a while, and they're bringing others into the picture. Mower and Newton right there, Ratliff there, and the 83 gets so tight he has to back out. Newton cuts him some slack, but that's going to give him trouble with Nate Mower and others coming on the bottom.
I haven't talked a lot about Nate Mower, but here he is, right?
Well, that's pretty standard for Nate. You don't talk much about him early unless you're talking about what strategy he's playing, but late, he's always there. Good battles all in here. Paul K continues his good run. He takes to the outside on Mower. Mower was looking to make a pass. Now he's going to get past.
Shout out to Fred Lester here, looking for a top 10 tonight. Way to go, Fred.
Yep, Fred way up on the high side, trying to keep that momentum up. Looking good. He's got Olsen right behind him. That's a battle inside the top 10 for ninth. Wow, so tight there. Lester almost into Greg Ratliff as he got a little bit tight. Up front, Leal starting to walk away by a few car lengths on Sheffield. Claus has cleared, and he is set to hunt down the top two. We got 13 laps remaining.
What a shootout, Dean.
Some great racing. Guys, multiple different strategies early on. Late caution brings out the hard racing in the shootout. And now you see all these cars. They're nose to tail, but they're not spread out like they used to be, Baron.
No, nose to tail, taking the air off each other's spoilers. Really dicing it up, Dean. This is great side-by-side battles all throughout the field.
Yeah, and the only problem is here, about the 10 laps has gone by now. They get a little bit tight, side by side, tough. You got to do what we've seen Sheffield do early there, and that's take to the high side. I loved that move, or maybe it was Leal. I might get that backwards, but if you can shock someone by getting to their outside, that's where the passes are, aren't they, Colin?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you saw it with Brandon there in that last run. I mean, it really just caught all of us off guard. I think he even caught George off guard because he just didn't expect him to stick his nose in that fast. So definitely going to be something that a lot of these drivers need to look out for. One I've been looking at is Greg Ratliff. He has been all over the track looking to make that pass on Paul. He's been above him, below him, anywhere, just trying to make up that position. He's had a quiet night, too, up 4 positions on the night.
Yeah, Greg, always a tough competitor. He's up 4 spots. Oh, and he's loose on entry as he had to hit the brakes pretty hard to stop from getting into Paul K. Baron, now, has anybody ever told you that before, that you stick it in there a little too hard, too fast?
Yeah, that happens on occasion. Yeah.
10-4, just checking in at that. We got George Leal here. He is battling to keep this and take this win. He'll come to the line, and it'll be 8 to go. Sheffield, really the only competitor. Let's hop on board. Colin, what are you seeing out of Mr. Sheffield?
Well, right now, Brandon knows this. He's winding down right now. He's running a little bit lower than I'm going to try and get a little bit more of that clean air so he can close that gap. He's still super smooth. He just got a little bit loose off the corner there. He's pushing it out of the corner. He's trying to close that gap right now. I don't know if Brandon was just trying to save a little bit at the start of that run so he can have it at the end. But he's definitely, seems like he's closing the gap a little bit. Still really smooth with the wheel, but he is being aggressive with that brake pedal.
Let's look on George Leal here. Baron, do you notice any difference? Little different views, so not a direct comparison here.
Well, I like his line here, Dean. I like that he's running that midline. Nothing too dynamic here. That midline is nice and safe. No excessive scrubbing of the tires. He's only got the required steering inputs in there. I'm a fan of what he's doing. He's going to make Sheffield pass him if he gets there.
Yeah, me as well. A big fan of what he's doing. What he's doing is not overdriving, trying to race his way out there.
Yeah,
He's
yep.
maintaining. That's what you need to do. Jason
definitely.
Spear maintaining 4th right now. You got Newton in 5th. There's Paul K in 6th. Greg Ratliff still working on Paul K. Travis, Colin. This might go on till the end of the race.
Telling you, he's been looking to the inside, the outside all the time, and he just can't seem to get it completed all the way. He might be able to get him here, but it seems like now he might start getting freight trained on the outside with Nate Mower starting to look to his outside, but he's just below that yellow line, just trying to hook it.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it, Colin? I mean, you go for a pass, and then you end up getting passed as Mower comes to his
There you
outside.
go. That's sacrifices you kind of have to take at this track.
Yeah, I mean, it's risk-reward out here. If you stay in line, you're going to stay in spot. But if you go low, you might lose spots. Very tough out here. Lester right up there. He's in 9th. He's got Scott Olson all over him. Those guys, a couple of big movers here tonight.
Guys making moves here with 4 to go.
4 to go. Let's check in on our leader. Still got a comfortable lead over Sheffield is George Leal. You got Claus Williams back in 3rd, Spear in 4th, Newton 5th, and then back to this gaggle of cars. Olson making a move.
Side by side racing here. Look at Olson. Come on.
Olson trying everything he can. It's just too difficult. That's going to give it to Otto Viani here, I think, or that's Lester, sorry,
Lester,
on the
yeah.
outside.
Lester trying to keep that top 10 position.
Olson looks strong, but look at the drive off. He doesn't have any from that low side. Two to go. This race almost over. Leal out here. He's got 4 car lengths or more on Sheffield. A foregone conclusion for the win if he can hold it together. Spear holding off Newton for 4th place. And then Paul K still leading this bunch as Ratliff is continuing to swear from his car at him because he can't get by him.
Right. So frustrating. Final lap, Dean.
Final lap, George Leal down the straightaway into the final corner. The 51 gonna take home the Phoenix 125 with some great racing, great strategy. Sheffield will be 2nd. It's Williams 3rd, Spear, Newton your top 5. Paul K holds off all the Chargers. Wow, Mower almost wrecking there. You got Ratliff, Mower, Olson, and Bruce your top 10. Great little race here at Phoenix tonight.
Old Fred Lester just missed the top 10. He was battling for ninth and he finished 11th. That's a shame. Good job, though, Fred. Way to go.
Yeah, great job by him. Great job by George here. I mean, he did that early stop that got him track position. Then he lost it on pit road of that caution, but he fought his butt off and got back up there to the lead and to victory lane as we await any burnout. It looks like he's taking photoshops. Is that the Monster Energy girls I see down there with him? He's gone home with them, Baron.
I would too. I've seen some of them. That's worth it.
It certainly is. Right now, let's take a commercial break. We'll come back. We'll get some race interviews done. beautiful GT3 cars out there. And, a little announcement, a little late to it. Sorry about that, league owners there. But the GT3s are coming to RGR. They'll have their series up and running in a few weeks, I believe. I have to look into that. We'll get more information to you. But in this league, clean green flag racing lead. If you like some road racing, come on over. Check out their GT3 series. Going to be phenomenal. Everything always is. Baron, great race here and great future for RGR here.
That it is, and I love seeing a series like this with solid foundations for drivers expand their platforms, not just NASCAR based. They're going to go to GT3. Stay tuned. RGR doing some great things.
Absolutely, they are. And a lot of guys here tonight did a lot of great things themselves. We're going to bring in our first one right now. I believe Colin J., you're down there with them.
Yeah, I'm a third place finisher, Claus Williams. Great night tonight, Claus. Just wanted you to speak on your night, really what you felt, how the car was feeling. Just the floor is yours, man. Just go ahead and speak on it.
I think finishing third after the few bad races I've been having, is a great night. The truck was a little tight, and I started shifting through 3 and 4. It would loosen it up coming off the corner, and I was able to make up time on the guys in front of me. I probably was a 5th or 6th place truck, but I'll take home third. I'm proud of my run tonight.
So you say you were shifting through 3 and 4 there. So, I mean, was this later on in the runs? Was this early in the runs? Where was this kind of this transition happening where you were just starting to do it?
Late in the run, the right front tire I beat up the right front tire. If you downshifted halfway through the turn, when you throttled into it, it would help rotate the truck through the corner, and you could get off the corner a lot better.
That sounds like a race car driver to me, Claus. I just want to talk also about your pit strategy. We're looking at your pit count, and you have 4 pit stops on the night. The most really out of everybody, the most we saw was 4. Just speak on the pit strategy, what you were thinking throughout the race, and really how it benefited you.
I was trying to break it up. I figured we had to pit at least twice, so I was trying to break up the runs. I was going to do 45, 90, and then to the end, 35 laps to the end. But that caution came out, so made an extra stop with that one.
Well, hey, Claus, I mean, you look phenomenal tonight. Finishing third, finishing on the podium, cannot definitely be mad about that. Take the momentum into next week, and we'd love to see you better it, see if we can't get second. But if you want to shout out anybody, any sponsorships, anything, you got it. Take the floor, man.
I'd just like to thank Scott for the awesome paint job that he put on my truck, and just like to thank you guys for the broadcast. You guys do a great job every week, and thank Todd and George for running this league.
Well, congratulations, Claus. We look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you.
All right, that was Claus Williams with a 3rd place finish, a hard-fought 3rd place finish. Great driving by Claus. Baron, I believe you got 2nd place with you.
Speaking of fighting hard, Brandon Sheffield, driver of the number 36 machine, brings it home in 2nd place. Brandon, here you are talking to me again. I bet you're getting tired of that, looking for that one more finish. Get to talk to Dean, aren't you?
Yeah, what's up, buddy? It's always good to talk to you, but yeah, wish I could have got one more here. Man, this was a tough racetrack. Everybody's just on top of each other the whole run.
Yeah, it felt like guys could get nose to tail and side by side. Brought the other competitors there. How was your truck tonight?
It was interesting, and I feel like the track changed quite a bit, gained a lot of grip as the sun went down and it cooled off. In practice, it was really, really slick, and that's kind of how I expect Phoenix to be. And then it gripped up quite a bit as the run went on, but really tight entering, and then you had to be able to roll the center and then struggle to put power down for the most part. And so you kind of just had to flat foot it and hope that it was either going to stick or not push and hit the fence. So it was for sure tricky, and then dirty air just made everything worse. So it seemed like that whole second run I was right on Jeff's bumper the whole time, but couldn't do anything with him, and that's so frustrating. But that's the way it goes. That's Phoenix.
It is Phoenix. Various pit strategies tonight. Brandon, Jeff Ward having a little difficulty trying to make his way through the field tonight. 2nd place finish. Who would you like to thank for your efforts this evening?
Yeah, I got to thank you guys for putting on an awesome broadcast as always. Got to thank the RGR guys for a great league. Got to thank the boys over at GDR. Yeah, everybody's on vacation this week, so I was the only one here representing. Caden Hammond Foundation on the car, Ed Kane CPA on the car. Tax season's always around the corner. Give that a call. CadenHammondFoundation.org if you'd like to learn more about that foundation.
Brandon, football season's upon us. You got a college or a pro team you're waiting on?
I'm a Minnesota boy, so I begrudgingly will watch the Vikings every now and again, but for the most part, I don't pay a lot of attention to it anymore. I'm a racing guy. If there's race cars on, I want to watch those instead.
We got a few more weeks of that. Myself, I'm going to Talladega, so we'll see you down there. I'll be waving to you from the stands. Dean, Brandon Sheffield brings the 36 machine home in second place tonight.
Man, what an effort by Brandon. He did a lot of things right tonight. There's only one guy in the field who did better. That's the 51, George Leal, here down in Victory Lane. Congratulations, George.
Appreciate it, Dean.
Unbelievable race here tonight. We had a little bit of everything, George. Let's start a little later in the race here with your pit stop under green. You decide, I think you were running third at the time, but I can't be certain. There was three of yous, Ward, yourself, and Sheffield, and you decided to short pit. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure we had the other guys on the other strategy covered. I didn't want to leave them too little laps and leave us plenty of time to catch them. So, and I knew I wanted to short pit those guys a couple laps. So, the passing was really tough. So I went for it, and those guys caught me and stuff as I expected. But I thought I'd be able to hold them off a little better. But Brandon made an awesome move to my outside, which I told him, I said I had one goal is not let you get outside of me, and he did. So he did a great job there.
Well, I think he surprised you a little bit on where he got to your outside, George. I seen you kind of thinking about protecting. I was thinking about you protecting, but he got there early and kind of shocked you. You had to be a little, I don't know, upset about that, let's say.
I was definitely surprised that he got there, but like I said, it was a great move.
It really was, George. But then, at a track, it's tough to pass on against one of the best out here, Brandon Sheffield. You get a pass done. Tell us about the move that got you first place.
Yeah, I'm not real sure what happened there. I didn't really think I was going to get by him, but I guess I don't even really remember where I passed him, but I drove in there on turn 3, I think, and got beside him and was able to clear him in 1 and 2. But it was good racing. I really like racing that guy.
Man, it was great racing all night long, all these different strategies, different pit stops, and then we have a shootout to finish it. Thrilling, to say the least. George, another victory. I mean, is there anything outside of a championship that would still make you happy here?
Well, it comes in spurts. You win a bunch of races and then get your butt kicked a bunch of races. I probably shouldn't have won this race, and I don't want to leave out with what happened with Jeff Ward. He made one of his slide jobs, and I was trying to hold my ground, and I didn't really expect to make contact with him, and that went downhill real fast. So I definitely want to apologize to him for that. It's kind of a bittersweet.
Well, I think in fairness, I mean, that's great, and I think it's appreciated that you apologize there, but Ward was thinking Sheffield got by quick. He's got to get by quick. He kind of made his bed. He put all the chips in the center, and it just didn't work out for him, George. So I think he can, cut yourself some slack on that one. Jeff knew what he was getting into. He took the risk, and he paid the ultimate price for it there. We weren't even sure there was contact. You're saying there was contact there?
Yeah, we made contact, and yeah, I agree. He knew it was an aggressive move. I knew it was an aggressive move, and I was clearly not. I really didn't want to run in the back of him. I was just trying to hold my ground, and I really didn't expect all that to happen. But that, like I said, that went downhill real fast.
Yeah, it did, but nonetheless, not you, George. You end up in victory lane sipping champagne one more time. Big congrats on the finish, and we'll give you the floor, brother. Any sponsors, anybody you want to shout out, it's all yours.
Yeah, I want to thank Mike and Shannon Brown for sponsoring this truck series and keeping us going, keeping the broadcast going. I don't know that we'd be able to keep you guys going without their support. So big thanks to them. Thanks to Todd, George, Greg, and all them guys for putting this league on and having me racing here. And all these competitors. I really appreciate racing against them. Hate the contact tonight, but all in all, it's really great racing, and look forward to the next one.
All right, Barrett, George Leal down in victory lane once again.
Hard fought victory. God, I love it for George. He's got himself another one, Dean, and my goodness, he worked for it tonight, didn't he?
He did. I mean, he so many different things. He alluded to a few of them there. There's a lot going on out there tonight, and George prevailed. Colin, what'd you think of this Phoenix race?
I think it was phenomenal. I mean, these guys really did put on a show. They were all very clean, all very respectful. It just goes to show how professional these RGR guys are and how well they've been maintaining the league. But phenomenal race, phenomenal little shootout there at the end. Definitely looking forward to next week.
Absolutely. We're all looking forward to next week. I hope everybody watching's looking forward to it. Right here, the RGR Racing League every Thursday. This one was a great one live at Phoenix. But until next time, folks, that's going to wrap it up here from Phoenix, and we'll see you right here next time on Wind Tunnel TV.